know he can facilitate the ball, but the scoring is where he hurts you.
So over the last 5 games, he is shooting 38% from the floor. It's horrendously bad.
Yes.
He's shooting 26% from 3. Horrendous. That's 10 of 39. Really? He's averaging 5 free throws a game. He averages 10 for his career. Okay, so
career.
Okay, so he's not even trying to get to the free throw line. They're just happening by accident that he shoots 5 a game. Quit, almost quit, right? So he's saying, I'm done, Houston. You're going to have to move me.
Because you know what happened, Skip? He came back and he did those stat lines like you said in the first 3 games. He's like, hold on. I'm playing too hard. They're going to think I want to be here.
Yeah.
Let me back this thing up to let y'all know.
But he did need to show them, I can still do this, because if you didn't do the first couple of games, people might be saying, wait a second, have you lost it completely? So he validated value. I can still do this even fast.
Yes.
Okay, so you come get me and I'll show you spectacular.
Right.
Okay, so now, what do we know? Well, there are obviously 2 potential trade destinations at the top of the priority list. He's listed other teams. But obviously, it's Nets and it's Sixers. Okay, so the Nets, we're about to talk about the Kyrie issue. So they got an issue with Kyrie.
I no longer want Kyrie.
Okay.
Give me Jared Allen, give me Karis LeVert.
Okay, but would Houston consider straight up Kyrie for James Harden?
Hell no.
I don't know. I think they would at this point.
Skip, I don't want them.
Okay.
Why am I going to get rid of a headache for a toothache?
Okay, because the problem with that would be, obviously, Kyrie loves Kevin Durant like a brother. They are brothers. And if he doesn't have a no trade. They could do that. If they were just sick and tired already of Kyrie and say, we can't trust him going forward, they could do that. They could ship him out. Yeah, but would he ever be happy in Houston? I'm going to say a big no to that.
But if you look at the Rockets, Skip, I'm getting rid of a problem to take on another problem.
All right. I got it. But you're also going superstar for superstar offensive talent.
How about this, Skip? I take Jared Allen. I take Karis LeVert. I'll take, I don't really know who else, maybe Joe Harris and 2 first-rounders. You can have James Harden.
Okay, would those guys ever measure up to what James Harden has done for you?
No, but they'll measure up to what he's doing right now for me.
Okay, if I'm the Nets, what I've seen already of my team, the depth and the firepower down the bench, because they've been winning some games. They won last night with just Kevin Durant being the best player on the planet.
Right.
But that team is so deep and powerful to me, I'm not going to break it up for James Harden. I like what I have, as long as I figure Kyrie's going to figure it out and come back.
What are we going to figure? We're going to talk about what?
I don't know what he's trying to figure out, but as long as he comes back and plays maybe 2/3 of the season, I'm still good. Okay, let's look at the Sixers. His GM, who's pledged allegiance to him as he walked out the door, Daryl Morey, left an ad in the Houston Chronicle saying, you changed my life, James Harden, which he did.
Yes, he put him on the map.
Okay, so Daryl Morey is now running the Sixers.
Correct.
Would he do Ben Simmons straight up? Would Houston take Ben Simmons right now? Again, I like Ben Simmons.
I like Ben Simmons, Skip, but if I'm the Houston Rockets, I don't want just Ben Simmons straight up for James Harden. Okay,
what else? What would be fair?
I want Ben Simmons, I want Tobias Harris, and I want 2 first-round picks. Unprotected picks.
Okay, they might do the picks, but again, I'm more of a Ben Simmons fan than you are. What's he averaging now? 13, 9, and 8, I believe it is. Yeah, 13, 9, and 8, and he's 24 years of age. I still think he plays great off Joel Embiid. He fouled out last night, but he's shorthanded.
He's a tremendous defensive player. He can rebound. He can assist the ball. He's not the scoring threat that you would think that he would be at 6'10".
Obviously, he's shooting 60% from the free throw line right now, which I don't love, and he's made 1 3 out of 2 attempts. So at least he tried.
Well, he's made 1 in his probably career. He probably got 2 of them made in his whole career.
Okay, all right. I'm still going to take their chemistry, stability, and future over James Harden. I would not do it.
And that's what I don't get, Skip. I don't see the continuity that I see from Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and James Harden and Joel Embiid. Am I missing something? I don't see how they work together. James Harden has really never played with a big, especially a big that's going to command the ball. He's always played with bigs that, hey, just get the rebound and pass it to James Harden. Ben Simmons is going, not Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid is going to want the ball.
Plus, he wants it down low in the lane, which is in your driving lane.
Yes.
Okay? I wouldn't do it. So where do you go with James Harden? I don't know. He put Miami on the list.
So you going to Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. Who else they going to want? Maybe none and a couple of draft picks?
Well, they probably want Bam to start with, but I wouldn't do it.
Man, get out of here. I bammed them over the head. They talking about they want Bam for James. No. Bam is the anchor of the D. He rebounds. He plays defense. He scores the basketball. I'm not giving up Bam for no James Harden. That defeats the purpose.
Yep. So I don't know if you try to trade James to, I'm just throwing this out, the Timberwolves, if he would accept that and be happy in Minnesota.
Well, who you going to get, Karl Anthony Towns?
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, that's if somebody wanted to just do it for box office, like we got James Harden. We're some small market team, and we got James Harden. We can sell this.
Minnesota's not going to do that. Minnesota, they'd be terrible. They would basically be the Rockets, the Houston of the Midwest, because they'd just be small. Because you got no size, Skip.
Okay.
They got Edwards.
I'm just throwing teams out. Like the Bulls are not very good right now, but they got Zach LaVine, he's got star power to him. Would you take Zach LaVine and try to build around him with draft choices?
Skip, if you're telling me if James Harden were to apply himself and say like in a week or 2 weeks, the starting lineup is James Harden, John Wall, Christian Wood, Boogie Cousins,
I totally
PJ
agree.
Tucker.
I thought that's what was going to happen. It's pretty good.
Yes!
Yes, I agree. I mean, James may find that right under his nose is still his best opportunity.
But Skip, he just wants out. I just don't know. I mean, James Harden is just eating himself, and he just doesn't care. Skip, I get it. This is what you got to commend guys like LeBron. LeBron says, I'm going to play my contract. I'll play my tail off.
He
I'm
does.
bouncing.
Yep, I agree.
Kevin Durant played his butt off. Even though, Skip, AD wanted out, AD was still giving you 26 and 11.
Yeah, I do think that he was a little pouty, and I'm not sure his heart was in it.
The last week is really when when he put it, and I didn't agree with him wearing the shirt. That's all, folks.
Yep.
But AD was playing his butt off.
Yep. So I'm going to remind everybody.
But remember, Skip, now that was the Pelicans that deactivated him. He didn't deactivate himself. He was giving it to him.
Yep. Okay. He was a much younger player at that point than James is 31 years of age. So he's starting to enter the backside of what he's going to be worth, because I'm going to say, just like Russell Westbrook that we've seen, starts to hit the wall because he's a high contact. James is taking a lot of contact.
A lot of contact, a lot of times picking himself up off the floor. But here's the problem that James ran into. You wanted that long-term security, so you signed that extension that tied you to the Rockets for 2 more years after this season. Now when you want out, it's different than AD. AD only had 1 summer. If you had 1 summer, Kyrie had 1 summer, we get that. But when you got 2 whole years, they kind of got you by the bag. But the way he's come in, the shape, the conditioning in which he's come in, and the way he's playing currently, Skip, I think their hands are tied. I think they have no choice but to move him. And I guess you're basically like you said, I guess I'm gonna have to get what I can get.
Yep. Okay, before we leave this game, I've got to give you a chance to gloat as you did off the top of the show. We've got to show the LeBron call shot from the corner.
What do you do?
Can we see it, please?
It's Schroeder's fault.
Yeah.
I bet you don't make it.
Schroeder says.
I bet you don't make it. Put something on it. Bam! You won't bet nothing. You won't bet nothing, Schroeder. Now give me my money.
He said he bet a Benjamin on it.
Yeah.
Nothing but the Benjamin.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, Benjamin's in net.
When you bet, you either shake a man's hand or you look him in his eye. So either I bet you a Benjamin, you won't hit it. He turned around and say, put something on it then.
For those not keeping score, that put the Lakers up 48-24. It was LeBron at his front-running greatest. When this man can front run like nobody in the history of this game can front run like LeBron James. And if he wants to win his Benjamin back, maybe Schroeder should walk up to him the next time he's at the free throw line and say, bet you don't make that.
Hold on, Skip. So we just gonna gloss over the fact that LeBron had 22, 5, and 4 in the first half? Or he had 10 in the first quarter and 12 in the second. So we just gonna gloss over it. So how did they get that 48-24 lead?
What does your stat sheet say about LeBron from the free throw line last night?
They say LeBron James was plus 15.
What's the free throws? Do you see it over there?
He was 2 of 4. He shot
2 of 4. Oh, do you realize that lately LeBron has sort of lost it at the free throw line? Over his last 4 games, he's 62%, which has dropped him all the way to 70. And you bet me